It's the blog segment, Lummy. The blog. The blog. Follow me and watch what I can do.
Okay, I'm watching.
I can do amazing things. Make you look like a star.
I'm waiting.
I'm joking, Teresa, because you are the star.
Okay,
you have so much. I do actually want to bring up with you. I've heard a couple people have IRS scams. These callers call in.
For the IRS scams?
For these IRS tax scams, because we're getting close to October.
So I watched an IRS video. They have some videos if you go to irs.gov, and they talk about these different things about, because there are now the IRS has private collection agencies who will work for them. So all these years I've been telling people, if you get a call from the IRS, it's a scam. It's false, because the IRS doesn't call you, and that's still true. But right now they hire a third party who's not the government. They hire collection agencies.
Really?
Yes, and these collection agencies. So I'm watching this IRS video to explain it to taxpayers, not consumers, taxpayers. I love when the IRS calls me a customer. I ain't a customer, right? But they do. Oh, we treat our customers very well. I'm not a customer. I'm a taxpayer. Okay, but anyway, they start talking about the collection agencies, because they're telling them, well, they will call you. We'll send you a letter first. If before they call you, we'll tell you who they're going to be. Then they'll send you a letter and tell you and then they might call you. And then but this is what the IRS telling, we will never ask you to pay with a prepaid debit card like an Apple Card or something like that, because we've heard the scams where people
we've received them on the phone before even coming on the show.
Well, you get that scam where the guy's, okay, well, you owe us $5,000. Oh, go to the store, buy an Apple iTunes store card, put the $5,000 on there, and mail us the card. That's not the way the IRS gets paid. Okay, and
what a terrible scam, though. Like, what are you going to do? Like, I got all these movies now. I could buy all the music I want.
Well, they could cash them in, obviously, because it's a cash card. It's just like cash. So
no, it's on the app.
No, because it's a system where they can, because they can't trace it. They don't know where it's going. The Apple cards, because it's prepaid. Like anything else, though, you should, when you get a call, first, you should never talk to anybody, even if it's not a scam. First, it's probably a scam. But even if it isn't a scam, you shouldn't talk to anybody about your IRS problem on the phone, right? What you should do, if they're starting to contact you, is to call me, right? 312-664-6649. And I'll deal with the IRS for you, okay? But what if I don't owe that much? And a lot of times, before it goes to a collection agency, it's gone a long time. It takes the IRS is only sending older.
It takes time for them to catch up to you.
Well, older accounts to them. Now, remember, they're what they call a CSED date, the collection statute expiration date. After that date, the IRS can't collect from you anymore, and either can the service. They can't collect from you either. So that's what they give it to them there's not a lot of time left, and so sometimes, again, so when someone calls you, it's probably a scam. But if it isn't, you still don't have to talk to them. What I do in my office is when that happens is that we send the third party a letter and say, we don't want to deal with you. We want to deal with the IRS. Now, the good part about these collectors is they don't have the right to garnish your wages or freeze your bank account. All they have the right to do is collect. And when they collect, if you're going to pay them, now they're like most collectors, right? They'll just bother you and torment you over the phone. They'll call all the time. And when you pay them, you don't pay them. You pay the IRS. So if anybody ever asks you to make a check or pay anybody but the IRS or the United States Treasury, it's a scam. Okay, that's one way you know it's a scam. The only way you're going to send a check to the IRS is to the IRS or the Department of Treasury.
But I think the way you can protect yourself first and foremost is if somebody's calling you and saying, I'm with the IRS, just give them your attorney's number.
I agree with that.
Get an attorney and tell them.
What do you do if they knock on your door, Jim?
I need to talk to
my attorney. And thank you so much, my attorney. He'll get in contact with you. Do you have a card? Take their card.
And if they put their foot in the door,
slam it. No, don't hurt the
slam
IRS.
it.
Don't hurt the IRS guy. because he could get mad at you. But most of it, but again, this is, and I didn't even know we were going to go down this road about.
No, I know,
about
but I really, you know what? I didn't bring it up to you before the show because I wanted to kind of see if you really were the IRS answer man, and you are in this sense because. But
I live this stuff, right?
I know you do, but we've talked about it before on our videos, in which you can go to YouTube and you can see all of these previous videos that we have, or you can go to our Vimeo account, which is going to be linked onto the IRS Radio Hour Facebook page.
So I have an account now. A client, their account is almost 10 years old now. Okay. But
that's past the CSED date.
It is, and people think, well, it's over 10 years. It doesn't matter. But they have 565 days of tolling. What that means, they added 565 days to the 10 years because someone asked for an offer in compromise, or there was a pending installment agreement, or they had what they call a CDP hearing, and it took a year for that CDP hearing to go. So the guy thinks it's over, and I pulled the transcripts, and this is how you do it, right? You pull the transcripts and find out what the IRS knows about you. You don't know what they know, right? You could guess, but don't guess. Get a transcript. It'll explain it to you. It'll spell it out. And so I had to tell him.
We have a video for that too.
Yes, we do. Your CSED date is not till next June. So now we have 9 more months for him to try to wait it out, and it's like $80,000 that he's trying to wait out that he can't pay because he's on Social Security, so he can't pay it. Now, you can get yourself and you can get to what they call a partial pay installment agreement where you just pay what you can. But that's something we'll get into at another time. I'll explain these. And that's really what I wanted to talk about in this segment today was these payment plans that are streamlined where you don't have to worry about the IRS investigating you. You just kind of figure out how much you're going to pay.
Well, how about this? We'll talk about it next week. So if everybody who's listening right now and wants to hear about these payment plans, and you can tune in next week and we will talk about it on the blog.
And the good part about these payment plans generally is you don't need a lawyer. You don't need anybody. You don't have to hire anybody.
I can't wait till next week's show to hear what you have to say about it.
And it's in my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today.
How can I get a copy?
So if you go to freeirsbook.com.
Wait, freeirsbook.com?
That's correct. And you can get that book at freeirsbook.com. And it has we talk about all of that in the book.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Opem Tax Resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649. Or you could visit freeirsbook.com to receive a copy of your free IRS book. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got a great this is really set up for you to help fight the IRS. It's very simple, chapter by chapter, question by question, and we answer the questions on this show in our Mr. Know-It-All segment, which will be coming up very shortly. Not next segment, but segment after. And we're going to be answering some questions from the book. So if you really are interested, you need to stay tuned, okay? You need to listen to our sponsors, all right? And you need to get a pen and piece of paper out and come on back here on AM560
The Answer.